Yo, what's going on, guys? There are two things that you can't fake in life, and one is the first morning stretch. When you get out of the car and you get to your first fishing spot, can't fake that. Second thing you can't fake is the excitement of potentially catching the smallmouth when you read comments in one of your last videos. And people are like, hey man, that was a smallmouth. Hey man, that was a smallmouth. You know what you do? You drive back to that spot and you try to catch more. I don't know if they are smallmouth or not. I'm between smallmouth and Coosa bass. I'm leaning more towards Coosa bass just because there are smallmouth where I'm fishing at. I'm fishing the Cahaba, which is like Alabama's main river. So I've heard of people catching smallmouth in the Cahaba. I don't think they're super common fish. There might be little points in the Cahaba where you go to and like you can catch a whole bunch of smallmouth, but I don't think it's like every mile. For every mile of Cahaba, there's not a smallmouth in every mile, if that makes sense. But here's the crazy thing. I've caught a 2-pound fish back in the back part where I caught the smallmouth. Caught a 2-pound fish and it got off at the bank, but I saw it. Like I was sitting staring at it and I was like, man, that looks like a smallmouth. But I wasn't willing to say that in my mind because I know like I'm in central Alabama. The chances of me catching a smallmouth in central Alabama are like super slim. So I don't know. Now that people have reassured me that it could have been a smallmouth, I'm gonna go try to catch another one. But I mean, there's largemouth in here, bluegill, all types of panfish, smallmouth. There may or may not be crappie. I've seen a couple really big bass in this creek, like largemouth bass. So the main spot that we want to fish is down that way. I think I'm gonna start this way though, because there's a car right there and I don't know where he's fishing at, and I want to give him some time before I go and refish the spots that he's fished. So we have a little Ned rig tied on today. Hopefully that'll suffice for some smallmouth. And we also have Maxent. You know, smallmouth can't resist Maxent. That's the other thing. When I caught it, I was fishing Maxent. You know, Maxent is a smallmouth deal. Catches largemouth too, but smallmouth can't resist it. Alright guys, first spot for the day. We have a little Maxent General right here. I say, guys, when I say this creek is like loaded with fish, it's truly loaded. It's just catching them that's the problem sometimes. Like, I've seen legit 4 or 5 pounder swimming in this creek, but they're very skittish. This creek definitely gets a lot of pressure. So, and there's like a little waterfall at the very end of the creek that I think that's where the smallmouth hang out. And I also need to figure out where I can cross the creek at, because there's a spot on the other side that looks like it could be really good. I've actually seen some people catch fish out of this, so definitely want to try that today. But just trying to break the ice. It'd be nice to break the ice with like a 5-pound smallmouth out of this Alabama creek, but we'll be patient. Oh gosh, me dude. Freaking suck into that. Oh, ooh, there was a fish for sure. That was 150%. Oh, there we go. Dang it. I'm not sure that's a stick or a fish. I think it's a fish. There you go. There we go. There we go. There's our first one. Alright, see the smallmouth, that's not a smallmouth, but the fish that we caught kind of looked like this one. Yeah, that's definitely not a smallmouth. That's Ned rig fish number 1. This is a spotted bass, maybe. We'll have to feel for the rough patch on the tongue when we get him unhooked. He's been caught before. I bet you can see these teeth on camera too. Look at this. Look at the chompers. I feel like I'm doing an episode of River Monsters. Yeah, some nice big teeth on him. Okay, but this isn't a smallmouth. We're gonna say this is a spot. The one I had like broken spots over his back with, I mean, I'm not sure if he had like the vertical lines like a smallmouth, but if he did, they were very faint. He might have. All right, Ned rig fish number 1. Hey, how are you? Have any luck? Huh? Have any luck?
Not a whole lot.
No?
Larry?
Yeah.
Watch the YouTube channel all the time.
I appreciate it, dude. You okay? Doing okay?
My name's Seth. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yeah, I fish here all the time, man.
Really? So, have you ever fished that like waterfall?
Spillway? Yeah, that's where I
spillway?
just came from.
Okay, yeah. I had some comments on my YouTube said I caught a smallmouth from over there.
Yeah, I've caught a couple smallmouth
Really?
and several decent spot up there.
Yeah, I had like a 2 or 3 pounder come off March maybe, so that's why I was out here doing today, trying to see if I couldn't find them again. Guys, I've said it before, I have to say it again. If you see me out in public and then you send me a DM on Instagram and say like, hey man, I see you, I'm gonna come track you down and I'm gonna eat all the food out of your refrigerator. Good idea? No. Do I want to do it? Yes. There it goes. Haha. But normally you can like look and tell and see if it's gonna work or not. If it looks like it's not gonna work, don't do it. Good way to break a rod. But hey, it didn't break. I don't think it broke at least. I like that. Mike Iaconelli, never give up. Sweet and inspirational message on the inside of your reel. Thanks, man. I guess that's for when you're like ready to throw the reel in the water because you missed a big fish. And you blame it on the reel, but it was actually 100% your fault. Before you throw it in the water, you see Never Give Up by Mike Iaconelli, and you're like, you know what? I can't throw this reel in the water. I can't ever give up because Mike told me not to. We're gonna move from this spot. I just got hung up, and that might not have helped my fishing situation. All right, so you heard it from Seth also that he's caught smallmouth out of that spot. So I mean, who knows? There very well could be smallmouth in the area. One thing that sucks about like making these videos is like some of the stuff that I see, the GoPro just doesn't see it how I see it, you know? Like I just saw 2 bluegill right there, and I'd love for y'all to be able to see stuff like that, but sometimes the GoPro has different plans. That up.
It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning.
That was 2 big old snakes doing the love thing. Jeez Louise, that makes you not want to fish anymore. I had to take a brief moment after that one. So you know how I was talking about some of the stuff the GoPro doesn't see? The GoPro definitely saw that, and if it didn't, those snakes are like possessed or something. I have never seen anything like that. That's 2 big snakes.
Stole your peace, put it on me, but baby, it's you. Lie like a ride, but take your stuff back, baby, it's you.
Alright, well that was scary. I took my videos of it. I'm not gonna say it was scary. It's kind of cool to see, not gonna lie, but I don't want to be any closer to it, you know. I filled my snake in Florida. Kind of wish I had a shotgun. You know, the more and more you do something, like the less and less scared you should be of it, or like the easier it gets. You know, seeing that, if I would have saw that maybe a year or 2 ago, I would have been like, oh heck no, I'm leaving and I'm going to go get the weapon. And I still feel like that, you know. I still would kill a snake quickly. But I don't know. Those were 2 fat snakes though. Like those snakes hadn't missed a meal, and they probably haven't missed a meal since birth.
Later.
Alright guys, this is like strictly, ooh, let's close this. It's like a strictly this is a mission, and the objective of this mission is just to catch the living crap out of these bass in here. Last time I was over here, I threw the, what was I throwing? I think I was throwing the Fritz side. So we're throwing the Warpig today, something to make a little bit more noise. It was a real hot day today, so hopefully these fish feel like chasing. Now I tried to wait to come out here because this is one of those spots. It really doesn't have a lot of shade, like just open water. So I figured that the bass normally will probably won't be active until later, like really want to eat until later. Looks like some of the grass might have been killed off a little bit in here also. Oh, never mind. As I say that, I'll walk into like a big patch of grass. Maybe it's just that part I was fishing. Oh, there's one. There we go. That's fish number 1. That's a bluegill. That's a big one. That's a little chunker. Ouch. I just got finned. That kind of hurt. I'm trying to get on them.
Yeah, so were they over next pond. They
caught one.
Okay.
It's a little warm, you know?
Yep, yeah, it is. That's why I'm out here later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so normally I like to get out early, but
I don't blame you. Yeah.
times like now, it's hard. There's one. There's one, finally. I don't think he's too big. But right species, I think. Yeah, first one, there we go, hey. Honestly, guys, I was expecting to catch one a little bit sooner on this lipless because, I mean, they were eating the frit side, but I figured since it was warm out, maybe they'd be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe they'd want it, or maybe they want that war pig a little bit more, but that is a big mouth bass, number 1 of the trip. We've had one follow, and now we've had one to actually eat it, so cool. That was like a parallel to the bank cast, so maybe they're hanging up on this little concrete wall, because there's like the concrete wall, then there's a little concrete ledge in the actual pond. This one's kind of broken right here. I know the few times I've been out here, I have seen the fish like up on that wall, but I figured it might still be a little early for them to be all the way back up against it, so that's why I've been casting out a little bit deeper. Okay. There's one. That's a good one. He's better. That looks about like the same one that I just caught. And he ate it the same way, just front triple got him. This one's about the same size as the first one. It's like now they're starting to eat. I've been fishing right here for about 15 minutes. I think that's one of my, ooh, there's a big koi fish or something right there. I think that might be one of my problems, guys. It's like when I walk around the pond, I just cast in the spot one time, and then if I don't catch anything, it's like on to the next spot. But I just kind of had a feeling like there should be some bass right here, and we've caught basically 2 out of this spot, and we've been here for 30 minutes. So this might be me learning a lesson that I need to start being more patient and fishing spots for longer, which I know I do. But what spoils you is like you go to some ponds and it's like, if you don't catch a fish out of a spot, they're probably not there, but then you get to one spot and they're all just stacked up. Like somewhere like here, if you were to see this, if you were to show me this whole pond and then show me this spot right here on the pond, I would immediately come right here because I would think the fish would just be stacked up right here. And then when you don't catch any in about 10 casts, it's like, oh well, they're probably somewhere else. You keep walking, but that 11th and 12th cast, you might start catching them.